They told us to wait. They told us justice takes time. But for the family of Kumanjayi Walker, time has not healed the wound. Time has only deepened it. 5 years. 5 years of silence and agony. 5 years since a 19-year-old Aboriginal man, Kumanjayi Walker, was shot dead in his own community, in the red dust of Yuendumu. Shot not by a stranger. Not in war, but by a man in uniform. By a police officer sworn to protect. And now, the truth has been spoken, through the solemn voice of the Northern Territory Coroner. And what did she say? She said racism. She said institution. She said risk. She said death. She said Zachary Rolfe was racist. She said he worked inside a system where racism wasn't just tolerated, it was structural. It was present in the air. Present in the silence. Present in the decisions made under pressure, in the seconds that separate life from death. She said Rolfe's views may have played a role in how he responded to Kumanjayi Walker that day. That his mindset, the one shaped and nurtured inside a police culture with the hallmarks of institutional racism, increased the risk of what came next. 3 shots, 3 bullets, 3 seconds that ended a life, shattered a family, and ignited a national reckoning. But is reckoning enough? The United Nations doesn't think so. Volker Türk, the UN human rights chief, saw the report. He read the coroner's words. He saw the findings and he didn't hesitate. He called it what it is, disturbing. He said this moment calls for more than grief, it calls for reform. Urgent, deep, unavoidable. Türk didn't just speak to Australia. He spoke to its soul. A period of soul-searching, he called it. A time to confront not just what happened in Yuendumu, but how it happened. Why it keeps happening. Why time after time, Indigenous lives are cut short. Forgotten, minimized, justified. Because this is not just about one man. Not just about one officer. Not just about one community. This is about the weight of a history that has never been reckoned with. This is about the deep injustice faced by First Nations peoples in this country since invasion. Since colonization. Since the first chains, the first guns, the first broken promises. This is about a system that was never built for Aboriginal people, but was often used against them. The court may have acquitted Rolfe. That was their role. That was their process. But now, the coroner has spoken a different truth. A truth that goes deeper than legal definitions. A truth about attitude. About culture. About consequences. Zachary Rolfe said he feared for his life. He said Kumanjayi Walker stabbed him with a pair of scissors. He said he acted in self-defense. The jury believed him, but the coroner has now told the nation, fear does not arise in a vacuum. Fear is taught, fear is shaped, and when that fear is laced with prejudice, when it is embedded in a broader culture of distrust and disrespect toward Aboriginal communities, the outcome is too often deadly. And Kumanjayi Walker is not the first. Far from it. Too many names, too many funerals, too many families left with only questions, only grief, only rage. The inquest was long, nearly 3 years, and the pain of it rested heavily on Kumanjayi's family, on his grandmother, on his community, on the Warlpiri people, on every Aboriginal person who knows what it means to be policed, not protected. The coroner found the NT police force operated with systemic failures. She found racism wasn't just an aberration, it was embedded. She found that officers like Rolfe were celebrated for aggression, that complaints were dismissed, that warnings were ignored, and in all of this, a young man lay dead. A 19-year-old with a future. A teenager still finding his place in the world. His life was reduced to a moment of chaos, a single encounter, a series of gunshots. But his name, Kumanjayi, must not be forgotten. He is not a statistic. He is not a lesson. He is a human being. And if Australia wants to move forward, truly forward, it must begin by hearing his name and feeling the weight of what it means. The time for soft words is over. This is not about reconciliation speeches on public holidays. This is not about flags flown for symbolism while systems remain unchanged. This is about justice. This is about a reckoning with the deep, structural, institutional racism that continues to infect policing in this country. This is about telling the truth, even when it hurts. This is about facing a mirror and not looking away. Because the coroner has spoken. The UN has spoken. And the people, especially the First Nations peoples, have been speaking for decades. Now the question is, will Australia finally listen? Will governments respond with real reform? Will police culture be transformed from the inside out? Will accountability no longer stop at the courtroom door? Will communities like Yuendumu be seen, respected, heard? Or will this just be another report? Another moment, another funeral followed by silence? Kumanjayi's family deserves more. The Warlpiri people deserve more. Every Aboriginal person deserves more. The whole country deserves better. Let this not be just a period of soul-searching. Let this be the beginning of truth-telling, of reform, of justice, of healing, because change is not just overdue, it is demanded. By the truth. By the findings. By the voices crying from the dust of